defend our unity, and uphold our honor and glory. So help me God. Almighty God, Creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that I may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Honorable colleagues, I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of our last sitting of Thursday, 12 March 2026. Before we go into other items of the agenda, let me call on the Leader of the House to move for the suspension of our rules to admit some important visitors who are coming here to observe our proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius Ihanvere, CON, DSSRS, One Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that we suspend relevant sections of our rules to enable us to admit into the chambers some very important dignitaries and friends of the House who have come to observe our proceedings. I so move.
The Leader of the Minority, please can you kindly second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, although the House Leader has moved, but he did not tell us the visitors we are expecting and the purpose for which we are admitting them into chambers, sir.
They are Nigerians.
For us to properly determine whether we actually need visitors in chambers this morning.
They are Nigerians like you. They are not foreigners, so seeing is believing. When they come in, you see who they are.
Well, we allow Nigerians into the chambers as of right, so I so second the motion, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Whip, can you please admit them in? Honorable colleagues, we have received some communications from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. With your kind permission, I will read these letters. The first letter is dated 23rd March 2026 and is in respect of request for the resolution of the National Assembly to approve the sum of $1,945,693 UK covered loan facility arranged by Citibank NA London branch for the rehabilitation of the ports projects, Lagos Port Complex and Tinkan Island Port Complex, Nigeria. The content of the letter reads as follows. The purpose of this letter is to request for the resolution of the National Assembly pursuant to the provisions of Section 16 and 21 of the Debt Management Bureau Establishment ETC Act 2011 for the following. 1, to approve UKEF covered loan facility arranged by Citibank NA London branch in the sum of up to USD 1,945,693 United States dollars 55 cents for the rehabilitation of the ports projects covering the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Lagos Ports Complex and the Tinkan Island Port Complex in Nigeria. 2, the rehabilitation of the port project is a strategic modernization initiative of the federal government through the Nigerian Ports Authority to restore and upgrade two of Nigeria's most vital ports, namely Tinkan Island Port Complex and Lagos Port Complex Apapa, which have reached critical engineering failure stages after approximately 50 and 100-year life cycles, respectively. Please. The specific objectives of the projects are 2. 1, address critical infrastructure deficiencies accumulated over decades of operation. 2, improve port functionality and operational efficiency to meet growing trade demand. 3, enhance safety standards and align port facilities with global best practices. 4, sustain Nigeria's competitiveness as a maritime hub and support non-oil trade diversifications. Nigeria's maritime industry is a major gateway for international trade, and the two ports collectively handle the majority of Nigerian seaborne trade and serve as principal entry and exit points for goods. The project is aligned with Nigeria's broader economic goals under the National Integrated Infrastructure Master Plan. The project concerns the full reconstruction and rehabilitation scope for both the Lagos Port Complex, Apapa, and the Tinkan Island Port Complex, implemented by NPA under an engineering, procurement, construction plus finance model adopted for suitability and ease of implementation. The modernization is led by Citibank and backed by UK Export Finance, with the stated intent to improve functionality, enhance safety, and align the facilities with global best practices. The proposed financing arrangement consists of commercial contract amount of $901,308,000, comprising of $387,210,137 for Lagos Port Complex and $514,651,171 for Tinkan Island Port Complex. Facility amount combined treated as a single project for approval purposes, totaling USD 1,945,693,055, covering 96.4% of the total commercial contract amount for both port projects, plus the UK premium. The facility is indicatively split as follows: Lagos Port Complex, USD 429,751,576.31, comprising $373,239,244 for commercial contract financing and USD 75 $112,026 for the UK premium. The Tinkan Island Port, USD 571,194,117.24, comprising $496,082,090 for commercial contract financing and $56,512,332 for the UK premium. Tenure and availability. Door-to-door tenure up to 14 years, inclusive of an availability period up to 48 months from execution of documentation. Arrangement fee will be 1.1% flat on the facility amount, payable on the earlier of 1, first drawn, and 2, the first business day following 45 days after execution of the facility agreement. UK premium, payable upfront, equivalent to 1.07% to 1.21% per annum, based on a 14-year door-to-door tenure, and can be financed into the facility amount. The first drawn is applied towards payment of 100% of the UK premium. The proposal is for the House of Representatives to approve the financing arrangement terms as set out in paragraph 5 above, which have also been approved by the Federal Executive Council as an ECA-covered financing exclusively for port infrastructure development. Based on the foregoing, I wish to request for resolution of the National Assembly to, 1, approve a UK-covered loan facility arrangement by Citibank NA London branch and other financial institutions in the sum of up to $1,945,693,055. for the rehabilitation of the ports project, covering the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Lagos Port Complex and the Tinkan Island Port Complex in Nigeria. A specimen of the resolution required is attached as Annexure 1. While I look forward to the timely issuance of the resolution by the House of Representatives, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regard. Signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The second correspondence from the Villa is in respect of a request for the approval and resolution of the National Assembly to establish a structured total return swap external financing program of up to $5 billion United States dollars with First Abu Dhabi Bank to support federal government funding and fiscal liquidity management. The content of the letter reads as follows. The purpose of this letter is to request for the approval and resolution of the National Assembly pursuant to the provisions of Section 21, subsection 1, and Section 27, subsection 1 of the Debt Management Office Act 2003 to establish a structured total return swap derivative external financing program from First Abu Dhabi Bank of the United Arab Emirates of up to $5 billion United States dollars, which will be made available to the federal government of Nigeria in tranches. Indicative terms and conditions. The House of Representatives may kindly find in Table 1 summary of the indicative terms and conditions of the loan proposal from First Abu Dhabi Bank for his kind consideration of the NAS and approval. Use of proceeds. The use of proceeds will include budget implementation, development of key infrastructure projects which are of priority to the administration, and repayment of relatively more expensive domestic and external debts in the FGN public debt portfolio. It will also enable the federal government to meet other urgent financing needs that may be approved from time to time by the President. Impact on debt stock and debt service. The House of Representatives is invited to note that the proposed loan in the sum of $5 billion will increase the total public debt stock of the federal government, which stood at $110.93 billion, about 159.213 trillion naira as of December 31st, 2025, and projected debt service of 20.48 trillion for 2026 accordingly. In view of this, the loan amount will be drawn in tranches to spread the impact of debt stock and debt service in a sustainable manner. Based on the foregoing, I wish to request that the House of Representatives to consider and approve the indicative terms and conditions of the loan proposal of up to $5 billion from First Abu Dhabi Bank, which includes issuance of Naira-denominated FGS securities as collateral for the loan, payment of margining in USD cash, and use of proceeds as presented in paragraphs 2 and 4 of this letter. Issue is resolution that the federal government of Nigeria should establish a structured total return swap derivative external financing program with First Abu Dhabi Bank of the United Arab Emirates of up to $5 billion United States dollars, which will be made available to the government in tranches, subject to terms and conditions, and that the federal government is authorized to issue Naira-denominated FGN securities to First Abu Dhabi Bank as collateral for the loan and make payment to First Abu Dhabi Bank in USD cash for margining as and when demand is made in that regard. A specimen of the resolution required is attached as Annexure 2. While I look forward to the timely issuance of the resolution by the House of Representatives, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regards.
Order, please.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Honorable colleagues, please be seated, please.
So these letters are referred to the Committee on Debt, Loans, Aids and Debt for their consideration.
Honorable colleagues, please return to your seats, please. Leader.
Honorable colleagues, we have some important correspondences, but before I read them, let me recognize the presence of some very important dignitaries who are here with us in this chamber to observe our proceedings. And I will begin by introducing our amiable and indefatigable governor of Kano State, who is here with his red cap, which is a symbol of Kano, new APC Kano politics. Along with him is our Baba, the former governor of Kano State and the former national chairman of our great party, Alhaji Ganduje. And we have as well...
Honorable members, you are distracting the speaker. You are distracting the speaker, please. Haba.
Where is the list?
Before you came,
Honorable Shinkavi. Okay. Please.
Okay. We also have with us...
Honorable colleagues, please return to your seat, please. Shinkavi.
The Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, who is also here with us, in person of Alhaji Rabiu Suleiman Bichi. Is that the name?
Who's this guy?
I suppose I called the name correctly, right?
Huh? Honorable Dabo.
Honorable colleagues, as I was saying earlier, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, is here with us. So also His Excellency, Dr. Abdullah Umar Ganduje, former APC national chairman, is also graciously with us today. We also have Honorable Abdullah Abbas, the former state chairman of APC in Kano State. He is also here with us. We have Honorable Umar Haruna Dogwa, the new APC state chairman, Kano State. He is also here with us. We have Architect Amin Dabo, former MD of Nigerian Port Authority. He is also here with us. We have Honorable Abdul Adamu Fage, son, the legal advisor of APC Kano, is also here with us. We have Alhaji Rabi Suleiman Bichi, MD Hadeja Jama'are River Basin Authority, is also here with us. And I said earlier, the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, my dear brother and colleague, is also here with us. We also have some dignitaries. I don't know that they have been invited to come in, all the way from from Imo State. From Imo State, their names are as follows. Barrister Uchenna Nnamdi, the APP National Chairman. Is he here with us? Yeah, welcome. We also have Dr. Abubakar Sadiq, the APP Chairman, Federal Capital Territory. We have Honorable Ernest Njesi, the APP Chairman, Imo State. We have Barrister Obed Agu, APP National Organizing Secretary. Is he here with us? We have Mr. Obina Ikiagono, an APP chieftain. And finally, we have Alhaji Kabiru Yusuf, APP chieftain and president, Arewa Consultative Youth Movement. Is he here with us? Thank you. We also have with us a former member of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Shaban Sharada, who is also here with us. You are most welcome back to your chamber, your house. Good to see you. So, honorable colleagues, with this introduction, let me quickly run through the announcements we have for you today. And I will start from
Honorable Raji, please. Falake. Which Lagos?
I will start from a letter we received from Honorable Chief Philip Abese, member representing Ado Opoku Obadibo Federal Constituency of Benue State, who incidentally is also the deputy spokesperson and vice chairman of the House Committee on Media and Public Affairs of this House. His letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify you of my defection from the All Progressive Congress APC to the Labour Party. This decision has become necessary due to the lingering internal crisis within the APC in Benue State, which has continued to undermine effective representation and party cohesion. I reaffirm my strong support for the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and assure you that my federal constituency remains fully aligned with this vision. I will continue to lend its unwavering support. I wish to express my profound appreciation to the majority caucus of the 10th House of Representatives for their exemplary leadership, fairness, and dedication to the progress of our great nation. Your Excellency, I pledge to continue working diligently with you and distinguished colleagues across party lines for the overall development of my constituency and Nigeria as a whole. Yours sincerely, Rev. Chief Dr. Philip Abese. Honorable colleagues, we have the first member of the 10th House of House of Representatives leaving the majority party to join LP. So members of the Labour Party, if you are here, can you please appreciate him? Labour.
Ali, are you Labour?
Honorable colleagues,
order please, order please,
order please,
order please. Honorable
Raji,
Honorable Raji,
Honorable Benedict, Honorable Ginger, please find your seats.
Find your seat, please. Order, please. Let him stay now. Order.
Order, please.
Order, please.
Honorable
Ben,
colleagues, the
please.
next letter is coming from Honorable Akami Clement Ademola, member representing
Order. Ginger, go to your seat.
Ila.
We are all going
Federal
Ginger,
Constituency
go
of
to your
Osun
seat.
State.
Ginger Owusibe, go to your seat.
Is
Go to your
Honorable
seat.
Akani around? Honorable Clement, is he around? Well, I will still read his letter because I think it's important that all letters are read today because of the long break that we are going to have. Allow him to come in. All the best. Honorable Benedict, you have a brother. So the letter coming from Honorable Akani Clement reads as follows. He said, I write to inform you, Mr. Speaker, that I have resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, at what level since 26th of February 2026 and defected to Accord Party accordingly. This is due to the restless, uneasy, troubled, agitated, and uncertain situation the PDP has found itself more than a year. And after due consultation with my constituents,
Allegiance, go to your seat.
Than to defect to Accord Party.
To your seat.
Thank you. Yours faithfully, Honorable Clement Ademola Akani.
Back home. The Plenary thing.
Honorable colleagues, the next announcement is coming from no other than Honorable Barrister Ikegwonu Oyeye Oguchinyere Ikenga Imo, member representing Idiato North, South Federal Constituency of Imo State, and the chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream. His letter reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, I'm writing to formally notify you and my honorable colleagues in the House of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, effective from 2nd January 2026. Order, please. Order, please.
Order, please.
After deep reflection.
Congratulations.
All the best. Thank you.
Order, please.
With your kind permission, honorable colleagues, I will read the letter coming from Honorable Attorney Dr. Martin Wogu,
Honorable Akilade,
member representing Abo Mbaise, Ingo Opala Federal Constituency of Imo
please return
State.
to your seats.
The above subject matter refers, I'm writing to formally notify you and my honorable colleagues in the House of Representatives of my resignation from Labour Party effective from 10th March 2026 to join the action.
Mr. Speaker, your mic.
Your mic is up.
No longer aligns with the current direction of the party due to constant leadership crisis and litigations within the party. I'm confident that my new political party, Action People's Party, better aligns with the aspiration of my people and provides a more suitable and stable platform to continue to represent the interests of my constituency effectively. I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity and support extended to me during this period. Thank you for your consideration. Yours faithfully, Honorable Attorney Dr. Matthew Ogu, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Public Petitions, and member representing Abo Mbaise, Ingo Opala Federal Constituency of Imo State. Is Honorable Matthew around? Welcome to APP, and we wish you all the best, my brother. You can come down since it is still an opposition. Come and shake hands with the chieftains of the minority. I'm sure they'll be glad to have another variety of different political parties that form the minority of the House. Leader, are you not happy? One opposition, from one opposition to another opposition, nothing lost.
It's better than going to APC.
Order, please.
Honorable colleagues, we also have communication and letters coming from about 8 or 9 people
are dividing the house
of the House on a similar subject matter,
to me.
defection. And with your kind permission, I will read the biggest one first, after which I will read the other letters. And I start with the letter I received from the Deputy Minority Whip of the House, Honorable George Ebizemako Ozodinobi, member representing Njokaka Anaucha, the Nukofia Federal Constituency of Anambra State. And his letter reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I write to formally notify you of my defection from the Labour Party to the African Democratic Congress, ADC. This decision follows careful consideration of the persistent and deep-seated divisions, factionalization, and lack of internal cohesion within the Labour Party, which have significantly hindered effective participation and the pursuit of the party's collective ideals. In view of the foregoing, I have resolved to align with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, a platform I believe offers a more stable and unified environment to advance the interests of my constituents,
please.
And contribute meaningfully to national development. I personally thank Mr. Peter Obi for finding me worthy to always represent him. In that same vein, I appreciate Barrister Abure and the leadership of my Aswal party, Labour Party, for their support while it lasts. I remain fully committed to my legislative responsibilities and to the service of my constituents. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest regard. Yours sincerely, Rep. Job Ebizemako Ozodinobi. My dear brother and colleague, we
congratulate you for switching from Labour to ADC and wish you all the best. Honorable Matthew, congratulations. Wish you all the best.
Please sit down, behave yourself.
Honorable colleagues, we have a letter also coming from Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonko. Is Honorable Harris around, please? Honorable Harris Okonko. His letter reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, I write to formally notify you and the Honorable House of my resignation from the Labour Party and my immediate membership of the African Democratic Congress, ADC. This decision has become necessary due to the irreconcilable differences within the Labour Party, particularly at the national level, which have fundamentally compromised my ability to continue to function effectively under its banner. Consequently, I have joined the African Democratic Congress with immediate effect. I wish to place on record my profound gratitude to the Labour Party for providing the platform through which I was elected as a member of this distinguished House. My commitment to serving the good people of Idemili North and South Federal Constituency, Anambra State, remains unwavering under my new political platform. I trust this notification complies with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended and the rules of this Honorable House. Thank you for your leadership and understanding. Yours faithfully, Honorable Uchenna Harris Okonko, MHR IION. Is Honorable Harris around? No? Honorable colleagues, I've received a letter from Honorable Yahaya Bauchi Tongo, Chairman Committee on Nigeria United Arab Emirates Parliamentary Friendship Group, also member representing Gombe, Kwame Funakaye Federal Constituency of Gombe State. The subject matter of his letter is notice of resignation from the People's Democratic Party. The content of the letter reads as follows. I want to use this medium to notify the Speaker of the House of Representatives and my honorable colleagues of my decision to resign my membership from the People's Democratic Party. My decision to leave the PDP was due to the persistent internal conflicts and factionalization within the party, which have culminated in a prolonged crisis adversely affecting my ability to effectively represent my constituency and perform my duties optimally. Therefore, after careful consideration and consultation with my political associates, constituents, and family members, I have decided to join the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in the best interest of the good people of Gombe, Kwame Funakaye Federal Constituency of Gombe State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, for your understanding and usual cooperation. Please accept my esteemed regards and best wishes. Signed, Honorable Yahaya Bauchi Tongo. Is Honorable Yahaya around, please? Not on the floor? Okay.
Order, please. Honorable Golebe.
Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming from Honorable Oluwaseyi Ayopo Shomi, member representing Ojo Federal Constituency of Lagos State, and also the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Local Content.
Honorable Awalu.
His letter reads as follows. Is Honorable Oluwaseyi around?
Zerok, please.
He's not around, right? His letter reads as follows. I write, Your Excellency, to intimate you, and by extension, the House of Representatives, of my resignation from the Labour Party due to the lingering legal crisis plaguing the party. This crisis has festered for more than 2 years, and efforts to resolve the same has proved abortive. As a result, I have, after due consultations with my family and constituents, decided to pitch my political tent with the African Democratic Congress, ADC. I thank my former party for the opportunity given to me to serve the good people of Ojo Federal Constituency of Lagos State, and pledge to continue representing my constituents with the same vigor under my new platform. Please do remain assured, Your Excellency, of my very high regards. Yours faithfully, Honorable Sheyi Soemi. Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming this time around from Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi Yari Mandamo, member representing Ikara Kubo Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, and the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream. His letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify you and the Honorable House of my defection from the All Progressive Congress, APC, to the African Democratic Congress, ADC, effective from today. This decision follows careful reflection and wide consultation and represent a considered step towards repositioning myself to better serve the interests and aspirations of my constituents. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to Mr. Speaker and to the leadership and members of the APC for the opportunity given to me during my time. I remain fully committed to the legislative agenda of the 10th Assembly and to the service of my constituents and the Federal Republic of Nigeria as I embark on this new political journey. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards with utmost humility. Signed, Honorable Aliyu Mustafa Abdullahi. Honorable, perhaps now that you are in opposition for the second time, you can go and shake hands with leaders of the opposition from this side. We wish you good luck and all the best. Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming from Honorable Mani Maishinko, Sardauna Silame, a member House of Representatives, representing
Honorable David.
Silame Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. Is Honorable Mani around? Is he around, please?
Order.
His letter this morning reads as follows. I wish to formally inform the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives that I, Honorable Mani Maishinko, member representing Binji/Silame Federal Constituency of Sokoto State, has defected from People's Democratic Party to African Democratic Congress, ADC. This was concluded after consultations and engagement with my political associations, family, and friends. As the party is having internal crisis and leadership tussle and lots of disagreements at all levels, made it increasingly difficult for me to continue my active participation in the party. I decided to withdraw my membership, which I've already informed my ward chairman. I've also extended my profound gratitude to the party leadership for giving me the opportunity to serve under the party, and also my special gratitude goes to all my supporters and well-wishers for supporting me throughout my political career as a politician. Thanks, yours faithfully, Honorable Mani Maishinko, member representing Binji Silame Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. The next letter before me, honorable colleagues, is a letter sent by Honorable Abdusamad Desuki, sent to Rakin Sokoto, member representing Kebe/Tambuwal Federal Constituency of Sokoto State, and chairman, Committee on Marine and Blue Economy and Shipping Services. His letter reads as follows. Is Honorable Abdusamad around? His letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify the Right Honorable Speaker and the Honorable House that I have resigned my membership of the People's Democratic Party.
Order, please.
Effective 15th March 2026.
AVM, please dissolve that minute parliament.
By the persistent factionalization of the party arising from irreconcilable differences. I further wish to inform the Right Honorable Speaker and the Honorable House that I have consequently joined the African Democratic Congress, ADC.
Hello?
Kindly accept this as a formal notification of my change in party affiliation and for the records of the House, for the Honorable House. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Sincerely, Reb Abdusamad Desuki. Honorable colleagues, I have another letter coming again from Sokoto State, this time around from Honorable Umar Yusuf Yabo, Damajan Yabo, a member representing Yabo Shagari Federal Constituency of Sokoto State, and Deputy Chairman, Regional Development, and Chairman, Nigeria-South Africa Parliamentary Friendship Group. His letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify you of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the political platform under which I was elected into the House of Representatives. After careful consideration and consultations with my constituents and political associates, I have decided to withdraw my membership from the party and align with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in order to continue pursuing the political ideals and developmental aspirations of my constituency. This decision was taken in the best interest of my constituents and in furtherance of effective representation and service delivery. I kindly request that this notification be duly recorded in the proceedings of the House. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Yours faithfully, Honorable Umar Yusuf Yabo, Deputy Chairman, Committee on Regional Development.
I brought my new converts.
Order, please. Please,
Ali Jesse, go to your seat.
Order,
Ali Jesse,
Order,
go
please.
to your seat.
General Works, please.
Honorable colleagues, we have some additional correspondences
Dixon.
coming from some members of this hallowed chamber. With your kind permission, let me read them one after the other.
Leke, please. Honorable Leke.
Abba. Honorable colleagues, it is my singular honor and privilege to to announce the presence of His Excellency, the Deputy Senate President of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my dear friend and colleague, Senator Barrow, who is here as a guest of the House to observe our proceedings. Your Excellency, you're welcome. Even though we don't know the motive of your coming, but you're welcome back to your own house. So, honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, I'll read the first letter. I received a letter from Honorable Mohammed Inua Basi, member representing Maebelwa, Jada, Ganye, Tongo Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. And his letter reads as follows. Mr. Speaker, following my recent resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, I write to formally notify you of my decision to align with the All Progressive Congress, APC, and the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. By aligning with the APC, I intend to join other progressive-minded colleagues in working tirelessly to ensure the success of the party at all levels. Please accept my assurances of the highest regards. Is Honorable Mohammed Inua around, please? Is he on the floor? No? The next letter, honorable colleagues, is coming from my dear brother and friend, Honorable Mustafa Gali Tijani, PhD, member representing Albasu, Gaya Ajingi Federal Constituency of Kano State, and also the chairman, House Committee on Ethics and Privileges. Is Dr. Gali around? Please, can you stand tall so that people will see you?
Dr. Gali, stand properly.
He said, Honorable Speaker, I write to formally notify you and the Honorable House of my defection from the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC, with immediate effect. This decision follows extensive consultations with constituents, party leaders, and critical stakeholders, and is taken in the overriding interest of effective representation and good governance. The defection is inevitable due to lingering political and legal crisis and uncertainty affecting the new Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. The resolution to join the APC is an exercise of the fundamental human rights enshrined in Section 40 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and relevant provisions of the Electoral Act 2022. I wish to assure, Right Honorable Speaker, the leadership of the House and the distinguished colleagues that I remain fully committed to the discharge of legislative responsibilities and to the service of the good people of Albasu, Gaya Ajingi Federal Constituency of Kano State and Nigeria at large. I respectfully request that this notification be formally communicated to the House, to the Honorable House, and all necessary records be updated accordingly.
The Speaker, go back to your seat.
Right Honorable Speaker, please accept the assurances of my highest regard and continued cooperation. Sincerely yours, Honorable Gali Mustafa Tijani, PhD, Chairman, House Committee on Ethics and Privilege. My brother, congratulations. You may remain standing because your colleagues are also coming with you to come and shake hands with the majority leadership. The next letter is coming from Honorable Barrister Mohammed Bello Shehu, member representing Fage Federal Constituency of Kano State, and Deputy Chairman, Committee on Sustainable Development Goals, SDG.
Please.
Barrister, stand erect like a soldier. Barrister. Barrister. Stand erect. Attention. Stand erect, please. His letter reads as follows. He said, I hereby formally notify you of my resignation from the new Nigerian People's Party with immediate effect, as communicated to the Ward Chairman, Fage B Ward, Fage Local Government, Kano State. This resignation is due to persistent internal divisions and factional disagreements within the NNPP and making continuing membership untenable. Portion to Section 68, subsection 1G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, which permits defections in cases of party division or faction. I have defected accordingly to the All Progressive Congress, APC. This decision follows consultations with stakeholders and reflection to better serve my constituents free from party conflicts. I remain committed to my legislative responsibilities and appreciate the NPP's past support. I remain committed. Please accept the assurances of my warmest regards, sir. Yours faithfully, Honorable Mohammed Bello Shehu, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on SDG, a member representing Fage Federal Constituency of Kano State. Barrister, congratulations and welcome to the greatest party in Africa. You may remain standing, please. The next letter is coming from Honorable Dankau Idris, Deputy Chairman, Committee on Drugs and Narcotics, a member representing Kumboso Federal Constituency of Kano State. His letter reads as follows. I, Honorable Idris Dankau, hereby notify you and the Honorable House of my decision to defect from the new Nigerian People's Party to the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately. The primary reason of my defection is the internal crisis currently plaguing the NNPP, which has adversely affected its ability to maintain cohesion and deliver effectively on its mandate. This unfortunate turn of events has left me with no choice but to seek a more stable political platform through which I can better serve the interests and aspirations of my people in Kumboso Federal Constituency, Kano State. I appreciate the opportunity to serve my constituents and look forward to continuing to do so under the APC platform. Sincerely, Honorable Idris Dankau, member representing Kumboso Federal Constituency of Kano State. My dear brother, congratulations and welcome to APC. The next letter is coming from Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein. If Honorable Hassan is around, please can you stand and remain standing and stand erect like a soldier. His letter reads as follows.
Order, please. Order, please. Members, order, please.
The internal crisis that has beset the affairs of the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, and following extensive consultations with my constituents and with party leaders at both the local government and state levels, I write to formally notify you of my resignation from the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, and my decision to join the All Progressive Congress, APC.
Right Honorable Speaker, this notification is for your information, record, and further necessary action. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Yours faithfully, Honorable Hassan Shehu Hussein. My dear brother, congratulations. You have made the right choice. And I can see that even from your cap now, it's looking better. The next letter, honorable colleagues, is coming from Right Honorable Rabi Yusuf, Chairman, House Committee on Treaties, Protocols, and Agreements, and member representing Sumaila, Takai Federal Constituency of Kano State. His letter today reads as follows. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm forwarding notice of my resignation from NNPP. And he said, this is to bring to your notice of my resignation from NNPP. I hereby notify you of my decision to decamp to APC forthwith. My decision to leave NNPP is based on division in the party and irreconcilable differences. Yours faithfully, Honorable Barrister Rabi Yusuf, member representing Sumaila Takai Federal Constituency of Kano State. Barrister, congratulations on behalf of the APC caucus, and welcome to APC. The next letter, honorable colleagues, is coming from Honorable Mohammed Chiroma, the Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Islamic Pilgrims Affairs, a member representing Gezawa, Gabasawa Federal Constituency of Kano State. His letter is also on the same subject matter, notice of resignation from NNPP. And his letter reads as follows. This is to bring to your notice of my resignation from NNPP. I hereby notify you of my decision to decamp to APC. My decision to leave NNPP is based on the division within the party and irreconcilable differences in the party. Yours faithfully, Honorable Mohammed Garba Chiroma, member representing Gezawa, Gabasawa Federal Constituency of Kano State. My colleague and my schoolmates, congratulations and welcome to APC. Honorable colleagues, the next letter is coming from Honorable Garba Ibrahim Muhammad, Chairman House Committee on Internet Security of the National Assembly, and member representing Gwale Federal Constituency of Kano State. And I'm sure, honorable colleagues, you all know the constituency where the governor belongs. He is from Gwale constituency, so Honorable Garba Mohammed is the one representing him in this hallowed chamber. With your kind permission, I will read this later. He said, I write to notify the Honorable House of my resignation from the new Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, and therefore ceased to be a card-carrying member. This decision was reached because of the lingering crisis that remains unresolved. I also informed the House of my decision to join All Progressive Congress, APC, in order to align with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Signed, Honorable Garba Ibrahim Mohammed, member representing Gwale Federal Constituency of Kano State. Is Honorable Gwale around here? Congratulations, my brother. Welcome to APC. Honorable colleagues, The next letter before me is from Honorable Jafar Yakubu, member representing Bali Gasol Federal Constituency of Taraba State, and the chairman, House Committee on Nigeria-China Parliamentary Relations. Is Honorable Jafar around? As a former police officer, please can you stand erect and salute? Thank you. Honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, let me read this letter. He said, I write to formally inform you and this honorable House of my decision to resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and declare for the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective immediately. The primary reason for my defection is due to the legal protracted crisis and internal division currently plaguing the PDP, which has adversely affected its ability to maintain cohesion and deliver effectively on its mandate. This unfortunate turn of events has left me with no choice but to seek a more stable political platform through which I can better serve the interests and aspirations of my constituents in Bali Gasol Federal Constituency of Taraba State. I acknowledge and appreciate the support I've received from leadership and colleagues in the PDP over the years. Nevertheless, the current challenges besetting the party makes it untenable for me to continue under the present circumstances. By joining the APC, I hope to align more closely with a leadership and policy framework that will benefit the people of Bali, Gasol Federal Constituency, and indeed our nation at large. I respectfully request that you kindly bring this letter to the attention of the honorable members of this chamber and to take all necessary steps to effect and reflect my new party affiliation in the House records. Thank you for your understanding. I look forward to continue to work with you and all colleagues in the House to pursue the common good of our beloved country. Yours faithfully, Honorable Jafar Yakubu. My dear brother, congratulations and welcome to APC.
Order, please. Please, order. Members, orders, please. Let's be seated.
Colleagues,
Please, let's be
Taraba
seated.
State, I have a letter this time around coming from Honorable Prince Sadiq Abbas Tafida, member representing Jalingo, Yoro, Zing, Federal Constituency of Taraba State, and Chairman House Committee on Peace Building and Social Cohesion. His letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify you and this honorable House of my decision to resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and to defect to the All Progressive Congress, APC, with immediate effect. This decision is necessitated by the existence of a protracted crisis and irreconcilable internal divisions within the People's Democratic Party, which have resulted in factions
please,
and rendered the party unable to function as a cohesive and unified political platform. In view of the foregoing, I have deemed it necessary in the interest of effective representation and the continued pursuit of the welfare and aspiration of my constituents in Jalingo, Yoro, Zing, Federal Constituency, not, I reflect my new party affiliation in the records of the House. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Yours faithfully, Honorable Prince Sadiq Abbas Tafida, member representing Jalingo, Yoro, Zing Federal Constituency of Taraba State. Is Honorable Tafida around? Honorable Tafida, is he on the floor? No?
Ambassador.
Honorable colleagues, I have a letter coming from Honorable Ibrahim Mohammed, member representing Birnin Kebbi, Kalgo, Bunza Federal Constituency of Kebbi State. And his letter reads as follows. I write to formally notify this Honorable House of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision was reached after wide consultation. Coming from Honorable Lale.
Order, please. Members, order, please. Let's be seated.
The Deputy
Let's
Chairman
be seated,
House
please.
Committee on Housing and Habitat.
Please,
and
let's be seated. The house is rowdy.
Ayedade Eriwole Isoka Federal Constituency of Osun State. His letter is also in respect of resignation from PDP to Accord Party. His letter reads as follows. I write to notify the House of my resignation from People's Democratic Party, PDP, and announce my new party, Accord, due to internal crisis in PDP. I also thank the PDP for the support over the years. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Signed, Honorable Lare Oladepo, Deputy Chairman, Housing and Habitat. Honorable Lare, are you around? We wish you all the best.
It's not well. There is something wrong with that.
Honorable colleagues, I received a letter from Honorable Tijani Abdulkadir Jobe, member representing Dawakin Tofa, Rimingado, and Tofa Federal Constituency, and Chairman House Committee on Poverty Alleviation. His letter reads as follows. I write to formally inform you of my resignation from the new Nigerian People's Party, which has been duly documented at all levels. This decision comes after careful consideration on my ongoing crisis, internal crisis, and protracted court cases that have destabilized the party and hindered its ability to effectively represent the aspiration of our constituents. In light of these challenges, and in pursuit of a more stable and progressive platform, through which I can continue to serve the good people of Dawakin Tofa, Rimingado, Federal Constituency, I have resolved to join the All Progressive Congress, APC. I believe this step will enable me to contribute more meaningfully to national development and uphold the mandate entrusted to me by my constituents. I kindly request that this letter be formally acknowledged and recorded in the proceedings of the House of Representatives. While thanking you for your understanding and continued support, please accept the assurances of my best regards. Yours faithfully, Honorable Tijani Abdulkadir Jobe, Chairman, House Committee on Poverty Alleviation. My dear brother, welcome to APC. Congratulations. The last but not the least, is a letter. I saw Aliyu, and I know that we have two Aliyus here from the minority. I don't know which of the Aliyus, but I should step it down, leader of the House? Really?
Step down, Mr. Speaker.
It's already late. I have already notified the House in advance. Eh? Right, honorable colleagues, it is my singular honor and privilege to announce the defection of a big fish from the opposition coming to join the majority party, the party of the future, the greatest party in Africa. I received a letter, honorable colleagues, from Right Honorable Aliyu Sani Madaki, CNA, member representing the La Federal constituency of Kano State, and also the deputy minority leader of the House of Representatives. What a big catch. Deputy minority leader of the House of Representatives. And his letter reads as follows. I wish to formally notify you that I have immediately withdrawn my membership of the NNPP. This withdrawal of membership was done after wide consultations with my political associates and supporters across Kano State, and in particular, all the 12 wards of the La Federal constituency. This decision was not taken largely considering my commitment and effort towards the NPP as a party and the Konkosia group, which I gave so much. The decision was taken because of certain things I discovered about Konkosia group and the fact that the party has been factionalized into two camps, with one group loyal to Dr. Boniface Anibonam, and another to Senator Rabiu Konkosu, and have separate leaderships from more to states and national levels. I wish to seize this opportunity to announce to Nigerians that from today, I withdraw my membership of the NNPP and hereby join APC with all my supporters across Kano State. I equally want to use this opportunity to thank all members of the opposition parties of the 10,000 representatives for giving me the privilege to serve as the deputy minority leader for almost 3 years. Thank you for the honor. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Signed, Honorable Aliyu Sani Madaki, CAN. Honorable Ali Madaki, on behalf of the House of Representatives, we're wishing you all the best and welcome to APC. Yeah, I will. I want to shift. Okay. And again, I'll read it now. Your Excellency, come this way.
Point of order.
Turaki ka tashi a maraya. Kwarai kuwa. Ai nesa ne. Baya tauna sai hadiya.
Muna godiya for you. Muna godiya.
You're welcome, Excellency. Babban ciki yake da shi mana. You know, I know.
Excellency, ka san ba a hawa nan.
Na'am.
Wannan wani privilege ne ba mu.
Ai shine ne godiya.
Privilege ne.
Muna godiya.
Ba hawa nan. Very privilege ne.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you.
Mun gode.
You are welcome, Excellency. Muke da godiya.
State Assembly.
Come now.
Don't call my name in this
Let's settle.
State Assembly.
Come, let's settle
Don't
ourselves.
call my name.
Let's settle ourselves.
I don't send you a message. I send you. I send you. I send you. You didn't answer that message. And if I had died in the theater now, you say, hey,
Who are they going to make who is deputy with? Hannah, my brother. No match. As will be. No match.
Honorable colleagues, I have received a letter from Honorable Bella Hassan Shinkafi, member representing Shinkafi Zurmi Federal Constituency of Zamfara State and Deputy Chairman Committee on Political Party Matters.
Order, please. How back on session? Order.
He said, I write to formally intimate my honorable colleagues of my decision to resign my membership of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressive Congress, APC, effective from 11th March 2026. This decision has become imperative after a wider consultations with key stakeholders, constituents, and political associates, as well as careful consideration and deep personal reflection on the current state of affairs within the PDP. The leadership crisis at the national level, coupled with series of internal litigations that have continued to weaken party cohesion and hinder effective political participation, have made it increasingly challenging for me to continue in good conscience as a member of the PDP.
Order, please. Members, order. Let's be seated. Let's be seated, please.
That I have chosen to align myself with the All Progressive Congress, APC. Please accept the assurances of my esteemed regards. Yours faithfully, Honorable Hassan Bello Shinkafi, MHR. My brother, congratulations and welcome to APC. Yeah. Huh?
Electorate ba?
We have just received a transmission from the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our dear leader and father, distinguished Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the correspondence is in respect of transmission of proposed adjustment to the 2026 appropriation bill and the associated financing plan. His letter reads as follows. Pursuant to the powers vested in me by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and in furtherance of orderly budget execution, fiscal transparency, and the effective implementation of priority national programs, I hereby transmit proposed adjustments to the 2026 appropriation bill for the consideration of the House of Representatives. The proposed adjustments are intended to achieve three related objectives, namely, A, seek to regularize identified outstanding legacy capital commitments carried forward from prior appropriation cycles to ensure that the 2026 fiscal program is not unduly burdened by unresolved obligations from previous years. B, provide for a limited number of strategic additions in transport, health, and institutional preparedness considered necessary in line with continuity of governance and national development. C, align the financing plan of the 2026 budget with the revised expenditure requirement in a manner designed to preserve macro-fiscal stability and minimize crowding out in the domestic credit market. Consequently, the House of Representatives is kindly invited to consider the regularization of outstanding unfunded 5.71 trillion capital obligations arising from the 2025 Appropriation, Repeal and Enactment Act within the 2026 Appropriation Bill, and 2 trillion capital supplementation for priority capital projects distributed across multiple sectors and locations nationwide, which were omitted in the rollover into the 2026 Appropriation Bill. This has become expedient as the outstanding obligations are unlikely to be implemented before the expiration of the 2025 capital budget implementation window. In addition, provision is proposed for several strategic interventions of national importance, including A, federal government equity provisions of $478.6 billion under the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Framework for the Presidential Legacy Light Rail projects in Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, and Ogun states, including feasibility studies for the Enugu and Maiduguri urban light rail projects and for the narrow gauge rail network. B, the provision of $8.96 billion to undertake detailed feasibility studies for the Calabar-Maiduguri corridor, traversing the north-central zone and the Maiduguri-Sokoto superhighway under the Tinubu National Beltway Initiative. C, an additional $344.83 million USD, equivalent to approximately $482.76 billion, for priority health sector interventions linked to existing bilateral understandings and implementation commitments. D, a further provision of $98.5 billion for the Court of Appeal and $36.7 billion for the Supreme Court to support adjudicatory processes and activities within the architecture of the pre- and post-2027 general election cycle. And E, $268.54 billion for the reinstatement of the budget ceiling of the judiciary with considerations for the prospective appointments of additional justices of the Court of Appeal and judges. On the basis of the presently quantified items, the identifiable gross adjustment to the 2026 appropriation bill is approximately $9.08 trillion, comprising $7.71 trillion legacy capital regularization and $1.37 trillion in additional strategic provisions. To support these adjustments, the accompanying financing plans proposes an equivalent consequential financing adjustments, which include external financing instruments. This approach is considered more prudent in the present circumstances, given the need to moderate pressures on domestic interest rates, preserve private sector access to credit, and align funding sources more appropriately with capital-intensive, import-dependent expenditure items. The House of Representatives may also note that these proposals are consistent with the administration's commitment to restore budget discipline by ensuring that current year fiscal resources are applied as much as practicable to current year budget execution rather than being repeatedly absorbed by unresolved prior year liabilities. I accordingly request the expeditious consideration and approval of these proposed adjustments by the House of Representatives. Please accept, Right Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest consideration. Signed, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Honorable colleagues, with these announcements, I refer this document to the Appropriation Committee for further legislative action. Yes, my brother. Honorable colleagues, we have received a letter from Honorable Engineer Akarachi Itinosa Tosan Amadi, the Chairman, House Committee on Oceans and Fisheries. And his letter is in respect of invitation of honorable colleagues to his traditional marriage ceremony and empowerment program. The letter reads as follows. I write with great pleasure and profound respect to formally invite you to the traditional marriage ceremony marking the union between myself, Honorable Engineer Akarachi E.T. Amadi, and Ms. Adobe Alagu. In addition, an empowerment program has been scheduled as part of my continued commitment to community and human development. The events are scheduled as follows. Traditional marriage ceremony, date 4th April 2026, time 12 noon, venue, Chief Zev Azuka Alagos Country Home, Ubulu Oni Community, Oru West Local Government, Imo State. The empowerment program will take place on Sunday, 5th April 2026, time 2 p.m., venue Ezeama, Ikeduru Local Government Area of Imo State. Your presence will be highly appreciated. Best regards, signed, Honorable Engineer Akarachi Itinosa T. Amadi. Honorable colleagues, The House of Representatives, through the Clerk of the House, announces the birthday celebration of Honorable Akinola Alabi, member representing Ibeda Ona Ara Federal Constituency of Oyo State. Is the honorable member around? Oh, Alabi. Honorable colleagues, this is to bring to your notice that one of our most important members and the Chairman Committee on Works is celebrating his birthday today. So please join him after the plenary to celebrate with him. And on behalf of the House, Honorable Alabi, please place on record that we are wishing you happy birthday, wish you more productive years, and may your future be brighter and more fulfilling than your present. Congratulations. Honorable colleagues, on a sad note, we received a message from Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, member representing Akwanga, Nasarawa, Egon, Wamba Federal Constituency of Nasarawa State. And the subject matter of his letter is notification of the demise of distinguished Senator Patrick Aga and Honorable Idris Yahuza. The content of the letter reads as follows. It is with deep sorrow and a profound sense of loss that we formally notify the Honorable House of Representatives of the passing of two distinguished sons of our zone, distinguished Senator Patrick Aga and Honorable Idris Yahuza, both of blessed memory. Distinguished Senator Patrick Aga, who represented Nasarawa North Senatorial District in the Senate from 1999 to 2003, served with honor, dedication, and unwavering commitment to democratic ideals and national development. His contributions during the formative years of Nigeria's Fourth Republic remain noteworthy and enduring. Similarly, Honorable Idris Yahuza, come back. Similarly, Honorable Idris Yahuza, a former member of the House of Representatives, who served during the same legislative period, was a committed public servant who contributed meaningfully to legislative processes and grassroots representation within our zone. His legacy, service, humility, and dedication to his constituents will be fondly remembered. It is particularly notable that both distinguished leaders who served concurrently in the National Assembly passed on the same day, Thursday, 26 February 2026. This coincidence deepens the sense of loss felt across our communities and underscores the magnitude of this moment. Both distinguished sons have since been laid to rest in accordance with their respective faiths. We respectfully request that the Honorable House may observe a minute of silence in their honor, in recognition of their service and lasting contribution to the National Assembly and the nation at large. While praying for the peaceful repose of their souls, we respectfully request the prayers, condolences, and support of the Honorable House during this period of mourning. Please accept the assurances of our highest esteem. Yours faithfully, Rev. Jeremiah Umaru. Honorable colleagues, again on a sad note, we received a message from Rev. Akintunde Rotimi Jr., member representing Ekiti North 1, Ikole Oye Federal Constituency, and Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs. On bereavement notification, passing of father of former member Honorable Bimbo Daramola. His message reads as follows. I write to inform the House of the passing of Chief Dr. Francis Adebayo Daramola, age 98, father of my worthy predecessor, Honorable Bimbo Daramola of the 7th Assembly. The deceased was an eminent constituent who lived a life marked by service to God and country. As a community leader, lay minister of the Anglican Church, educationist, and public servant. Among his many illustrious roles in life, he served meritoriously as chairman of Oye local government, one of the 2 local governments in my federal constituency. In recognition of his contributions and legacy, I respectfully request that the House joins me in extending condolences to the family and observes a minute silence in his honor. Yours faithfully, Rep. Aketunde Rotimi, true, Member House of Representatives. Again, honorable colleagues, we received another letter of announcement of death, and this announcement is in respect of the death of late Alhaji Mudashiru Musliat Omobolale, the mother of Honorable Mudashiru Lukman, a member of this House, who died on Tuesday, 24th March 2026 at the age of 92. Our condolences goes to Honorable Mudashiru Lukman and other members of the family of the deceased. May her soul rest in peace. I just realized that Honorable Mudashiru has also personally written in respect of the same death. I will crave your indulgence to read this letter. He said, I write with deep sorrow and total submission to the will of Almighty Allah to formally notify you of the passing of my beloved mother, late Alhaja Mudashiru Musliat Omobolale, who returned to her Creator on Tuesday, 24th March 2026, at the age of 92. She was a devoted mother, a woman of strong faith, and a pillar of support to our family and community. Her life was marked by service, humility, and unwavering commitment to Islamic values. As a member of the House of Representatives, I consider it important to formally inform the leadership and my distinguished colleagues of this great loss. I humbly request your prayers and peaceful repose of our soul, and for Allah to grant the family the strength to bear this irreparable loss. Please accept the assurances of my highest regards. Yours faithfully, Honorable Mudashiru Lukman, Member House of Representatives, representing Aidire, Iwo, Olalulua, Federal Constituency of Osun State. On the 9th. Honorable colleagues, this is another announcement coming from the minority leader of the House, and his message reads as follows. There will be a joint valedictory session of the Senate and House of Representatives in honor of late Senator Barry Impigi, member of the House of Representatives 2011 to 2019, Senator 2019 to 2026, until his demise. Date 9th April 2026, which will be on Thursday. Time 11 a.m. and venue will be the Senate chambers. So all members are enjoined to please attend if you have the time. Honorable colleagues, shall we please rise for a minute silence? May the soul of the departed rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, Honorable Hussaini Ahmed Abdul Karim, popularly known as Kero, member representing Kaduna South Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, wishes to bring to your information that he will be given out two of his daughters in marriage on the 18th of April 2026 in Masallachin ASD Makera, Kaduna South, Kaduna State. All members are enjoying who have time to please attend this very important marriage program. Again, date is 18th April, time 11 a.m. prompt, venue Masallachin ASD Makera, Kaduna South, Kaduna State.
I don't know. I don't know. Who's speaker? Jega.
Honorable colleagues, I've just received a letter from Honorable Alexander Mascot, member representing Aba North South Federal Constituency of Abia State. And this letter is in respect of defection, notification of defection. The main body of the letter reads as follows. I am pleased to announce that I've joined the Labour Party formally. Earlier, I paid a visit to the Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Dr. Alex Chioma Oti, to receive his blessings as I transition into the Labour Party. As many are aware, I have consistently eulogized the Governor for the far-reaching transformation that has taken place and continues to unfold across Abia State. The results are visible and deeply impactful. I'm therefore delighted to now become a member of his political family. Together, we shall work in close collaboration, united by a shared commitment to prioritizing the welfare of Abians and contributing meaningfully to national progress. To my former party, the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, I remain sincerely grateful for the opportunity afforded me in 2022 to contest and serve under its esteemed platform. I value the relationships built and the experiences gained. In our political space, leaders who are honest, dependable, focused, strong-willed, and scrupulous are rare. Abia has found such a leader, and I am proud to stand firmly in support of him. Labour Party is my party. Honorable Alexander Marcos Ikweche. Honorable Mascot, good luck. I'm sure Honorable George will be happy for you to step into his shoe. He exited at a time when you are coming in. We wish you all the best. Congratulations and good luck. Honorable colleagues, Deputy Speaker, you appear to be very happy. Is anything happening there?
Order, order. Order, please.
Honorable members, the first business of the day. The second business of the day is presentation of one bill. I now invite the clerk to read the short title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, 2025 Appropriation Refill and Enactment Act Amendment Bill 2026, first reading.
Colleagues, the third business of the day is presentation of report of the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 68,303,309,818,667 naira only, of which 4,799,628,911,806 naira only is for statutory transfers. 15,809,361,631,657 naira only is for debt service. 15,427,257,802,407 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32,287,601,472,797 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2026. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Kabir Bichi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Thursday, 29 January 2026. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Bichi is invited to present the motion, the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Abubakar Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 68,309,818,667 only, of which 4,728,911,806 only is for statutory transfers, while 15,809,361,631,657 only is for debt service. 15,427,257,802,407 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32,267,472,797 only is for contribution to the Development Fund for the capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Is the Deputy Chairman of the committee around?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Gariwe Iduma Enwo. Mr. Speaker, I represent the people of Afikpo and Eda Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as ably moved by the Chairman Appropriation that we receive this report. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Bichi, please proceed and lay your report. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the 2025 Appropriation Act to further extend the capital component of the act from 31st March 2026 to 30 June 2026 and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ohevery, the House Leader, Honorable members will call that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 31st March 2026. The House Leader, can you please move for the House to suspend its relevant rules to allow us to commence and conclude debate on the extension of this appropriation bill from 31st of March to 30th of June 2026.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm Professor Julius Ihanvere, One Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we suspend some of our rules to enable the House initiate debate on a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act, repeal and enactment, to extend the implementation of the capital aspect of the Appropriation Act 2025 from 31st March 2026 to 30th June 2026, and for related matters, HB 2743, I so move.
Leader of the minority, please can you kindly second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, considering the fact that government was unable to meet up with the 2024-2025 extended date of 30th March, and to enable us provide essential services to the electorates and their country, I stand to support and second this motion that we do extend the deadline for this bill from 31st March to 30th June 2026. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House Leader, can you please rise and discuss about the substance of the object of this particular extension for members to take note and enable us to put the question for approval of the House.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is somewhat a bit straightforward, that due to a variety of reasons that we're all familiar with, following several meetings with several departments and ministers and so on, the capital aspect of the Appropriation Act 2025 was not funded, and so implementation could not take place. But to ensure that we give some more time to capture the work that we did robustly on that budget, and to give room for these projects to be implemented and to go through all the bureaucratic requirements in the ministries, we are recommending that we push the deadline of that budget from 31st March 2026 to 30th June 2026, which is an additional 3-month extension, to enable that capital aspect of the Appropriation Act 2025 to be fully implemented. That is all, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
So please, can you move? Have you moved? Okay. Minority Leader, please, can you second?
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I most humbly rise to second the motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Appropriations Act, repeal and enactment to extend the implementation of the capital aspect of the Appropriations Act 2025 from 31st March 2026 to 30th June 2026 and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Supply for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the second order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to amend the 2025 Appropriation Act to further extend the capital components of the act from 31st May 2026 to 30th June 2026 and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of Supply on Tuesday, 31st March 2026. The House Leader will move for its consideration. Come on.
Mr.
Waive,
Speaker,
please approach the chair.
you wait. That the Committee of Supply do consider a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act, repeal an enactment, to extend the implementation of the capital aspect of the Appropriation Act 2025 from 31st March 2026 to 30th June 2026. I so move.
The Leader of the minority, please can you second?
My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that HB 2743 be considered in the Committee of Supply. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The third order of the day is consideration of report of the committee.
Please, let's be seated, members. Let's be seated,
on a bill
please.
for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 68,323,309,818,667 naira only, of which 4,799,628,802,407 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32,287,061,472,797 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st day of December 2026. Honorable members will recall that the bill was laid on Tuesday, 31st March 2026. Honorable Abubakar Bichi will move for its consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Abubakar Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Appropriations on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Funds of the Federation the total sum of 68,303,309,818,667 667 only, of which 4,799,628,911,806 only is for statutory transfers. 15,809,631,657 only is for debt service. 15,427,802,407 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32,267,061,472,797 only is for contribution to the Development Fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
The Deputy Chairman, please, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected colleagues. My name is Right Honorable Igariwe Iduma Enwo. I represent the good people of Afikpo and Eda Federal Constituency. I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise with respect to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman Appropriation that we consider this report. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Leader of the House. Leader of the House. Please, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of Supply to consider these reports?
Emergency. Mr. Speaker, thank you. I rise to move that the House do resort to Committee of Supply to consider the appropriation bill as presented. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion that the House do resolve into Committee of Supply. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. House has resolved to the Committee of Supply to consider the two reports. Why did we Honorable colleagues, order, please. Order. Order, please.
Honorable Mascot. Order, please, please.
The leader of the House will give us synopsis of this bill for the amendment of the Appropriation and Repeal and Enactment Act of 2025 for the extension of the budget from 31st March 2026 to 30 June. So, Leader of the House, please can you proceed?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I spoke to this a bit earlier, that for a variety of reasons and circumstances beyond the control of the operators of the 2025 budget, the capital aspect could not be implemented as intended. This has necessitated the need to extend the lifespan of that budget to give more time to the MDAs so that the budget will be appropriately funded and the implementation process initiated and hopefully concluded in 3 months. So all we're asking for is a 3-month extension to enable it to terminate on the 30th of June, 2026. That is all.
Okay. Thank you, House Leader. Honorable colleagues, please refer to the document before you. There is a slight correction concerning the first clause, which is Amendment of Appropriation Act 2025. If you read the sentence, you find that 2024 is mentioned there instead of 2025. Can we please correct that one? Number 1, the Appropriation Act 2024 should be changed to 2025.
Yes. Correct.
No. Are we together? So please, with your kind permission, let's consider the various clauses under this particular amendment. Clause 1, carried. Clause 2, Clause 3, explanatory memorandum. Thank you very much. Long title. Thank you. So are we taking the order? Honorable colleagues, the report to be considered next is that of the Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation, the total sum of 68,309,818,667 naira only, of which 4,799,628,911,806 naira only is for statutory transfers. 15,809,361,000
632,757,802,407 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32,287,621,472,797 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditures for the year ending 31st day of December 2026. I now invite Honorable Abubakar Bichi to give us the synopsis of this report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Abubakar Bichi, member representing Bichi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to read our report for the Committee on Appropriations. It is my pleasure and privilege to present the report of the Joint Committee on Appropriation on the 2026 Appropriation Bill, HB 2682. Honorable colleagues, you may wish to recall that on Wednesday, 19 December 2025, the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, laid before the joint sitting of the National Assembly the 2026 Appropriation Bill, in accordance with the legislative powers and control of Nigeria 1999 as altered. The 2026 budget theme, Budget of Consolidation, Renewal, Resilience, and Shared Prosperity, reflects the executive determination to log in macroeconomic stability, deepen competitiveness, and ensure that growth translates into decent jobs. $472,628,944,762 naira, only, of which 4,097,381,000,000, while 15,251,538,827,425 only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure. 7,381,824 only is for contribution to the development funds for capital expenditure for the year ending of the 31st December 2026. Capital while protecting vulnerable stakeholders. Legislative actions. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the House debated on the general principle of the bill on Thursday, 29 January 2026. The committee referred to the relevant schedules of the bill to its subcommittees on money bills for debated legislative scrutiny. In furtherance for this assignment, the committee held a meeting with the economic team of Mr. President, led by the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, the Accountant General of the Federation, the Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, to ensure chairmen of subcommittees on Friday, 30th January 2026, during which they were briefed on the approved timetable and procedural guidelines necessary to ensure the timely and efficient compliance of legislative process. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, during the consideration of the bill by the Joint Committee on Appropriation, a communication was received from Mr. President proposing adjustment to the 2026 budget. The proposed adjustments were intended to regularize outstanding legacy capital commitments carried over from previous appropriation cycles, thereby ensuring that the 2026 fiscal program is not unduly burdened by unresolved obligations considered critical to national development and governance, preserve macro feasibility stability. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, regularization of outstanding capital obligation, the inclusion with the 2026 appropriation bill of the outstanding unfunded capital obligation amounting 5.7 trillion, rather than from the 2025 Appropriation Repeal and Enactment Act, as well as 2 trillion capital priority projects across multiple sectors. framework for the Presidential Legacy Light Rail project in Lagos, Kano, Kaduna, Ogun State, including feasibility studies for the Enugu and Maiduguri Urban Light Rail project, as well as the narrow gauge railway network. Studies for the Calabar-Maiduguri corridor, traversing the North Central Zone, and the Maiduguri-Sokoto superhighway under the Tinubu National Beltway Initiative. In addition, $344 million, equivalent to approximately 482 billion naira, for priority health sector intervention tied to existing bilateral understanding and implementation commitments. D, further provision of 98 billion for the Court of Appeal and 36.7 billion for the Supreme Court in the support of institutional architecture for the 2027 general election cycle, of more justice of the Court of Appeal and judges. Highlight of the adjustment. Number 1, 2025 outstanding legacy obligation is 7,717,395,470,119 naira. Ministry of Health, 482,758,620,690, while Murphy got 478,600,000,000. Feasibility study for Calabar-Maiduguri corridor and Maiduguri-Sokoto superhighway got 808,960,000,000, while Court of Appeal 98,513,319,000. Ministry of Judiciary got 268,544,925,837 naira, while Supreme Court got 36,705,655,855. The total increase from executive is 9,91,477,991,501 naira only. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, consider this huge amount of money. We engage the Ministry of Finance to give us the source of funding. The source of funding is as follows: increase in the oil benchmark by $10 per barrel, which will generate an additional of 2,592 billion. Yes. Number 2, another source of fund is recent tariff have begun to correct the structural imbalance previously prevalent in the sector. The restoration of more commercially viable operating environment has stimulated renewed investor confidence, as evidenced by the capital inflow and investment commitment exceeding $2 billion. From a fiscal perspective, the telecommunications sector is therefore transitioning from a position of concern a tax yield and underinvestment to one characterized as follows: MTN. Number 3, an increase in external borrowing by 6.163 trillion naira. That is source of funding for the increase of 9 trillion naira from the executives. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, having considered the proposed adjustment of Mr. President on the 2026 budget, the highlight of the new 2026 budget is estimated as follows: aggregated expenditure 68,323,309,818,667 naira only, while statutory transfers 4,779,688,911,872,797 naira only, while our debt servicing now is 15,809,361,631,657 only. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, observation of our committee is as follows: that Mr. President, in his initial budget proposal, reflected an increase of 1.7 trillion in the allocation to the Ministry of War. Number 2, that the 70% of capital projects Our observation number 3, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, is the committee further observed that the adjustment to the 2026 budget estimate will enable the number 4, fundamenting the previous Appropriation Act, reflecting that federal government determination to prioritize important sectors such as security, health, education, infrastructure development, and the welfare of the electorate. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, our recommendations. After due consideration of the detailed provision of the bill and having worked harmoniously with the Senate Committee on Appropriation on the proposed adjustments, the committee do here recommended the House do consider and approve a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 68,323,309,818,667 naira only, of which 4,799,628,911,806 only is for statutory transfers, while 15,809,631,657 naira only is for debt servicing, while 15,427,257 million, while the sum of 32,287,472,797 only is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending on the 31st day of December 2026, with accompanying schedule and detail. Number 2, the bureaucratic bottlenecks that led the challenge of late releases of funds in 2025 should be addressed holistically to achieve the theme of the 2026 appropriation bill from the budget to impact. Our recommendation number 3, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, is to deliberate effort must be made in 2026 by the House of Reps in collaboration with the executive to implement 2026 appropriation holistically and the capital component of the Appropriation Repeal Enactment Act of the 2025 extended to the 30th June 2026. Our last recommendation, Mr. Speaker, 2026 budget implementation should be monitored by the various committees with purpose to manage and guide capital project implementation with discipline and pursue infrastructure goals that broad-based with sustainable legislation. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the committee, we wish to thank the Right Honourable Speaker and the leadership of their support to the committee. We also wish to thank the appropriations subcommittees for their cooperation in making the budget process robust and effective. This has contributed significantly in the making the report a success. Lastly, we thank honourable members of the committee and staff who worked tirelessly to ensure successful completion of legislative assignment. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Thank you, Honorable Chairman Appropriation, for a very comprehensive report and detailed analysis of the budget of 2026. I'm sure every member has been enlightened. We all have the submissions made and the explanations made by the chairman. So I think with that, we can go ahead and start the consideration. Gross revenue Federation of the Federation. Under it, we have federal government share of main pool, carried. Federal government share of VAT pool, carried. Federal government share of stamp duty, carried. Total share of federation revenues, carried. Political fund statutory stabilization and development of natural resources, carried. Federal government share of net federation revenues, starting with federal government share of main pool, federal government share of VAT pool, federal government share of EMTL carried, total share of federation revenues, Part D, independent revenues, tax revenues, non-tax revenues, operating surplus, total independent revenue, Part E, other dividends. We have NLNG carried, Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, Galaxy Backbone, total dividends, aids and grants. We have foreign aid grants as for grant in cash carried, total aids and grants carried, special levies and account transfers to CRF and CDF. We have special levies and accounts carried. We have total special levies and accounts carried. We come to government-owned enterprises, Part H. We have government-owned enterprises totaling 10.2 trillion carried. GOE's operating surplus, 80% of which is captured in independent revenue carried. Total GOE's revenue net of operating surplus carried. Part 1, development levy carried. Signature bonus carried. Domestic recoveries carried. Share of oil price royalty carried. Then we go to Part J, statutory transfers. National Judicial Council, Niger Delta Commission, Southeast Development Commission, Southwest Development Commission, South-South Development Commission, North Central Development Commission, Universal Basic Education, National Assembly, Public Complaints Commission, Independent National Electoral Commission, Northeast Development Commission, Basic Healthcare Provision Fund carried, National Agency for Science and Tech. Total statutory transfers.
Northwest.
Okay, I didn't call Northwest. Northwest Development Commission carried. We go to Part K, debt service. We have domestic debts, including ways and means carried. Foreign debts carried. Sinking fund to retire maturing promissory notes carried. Total debt service carried. Part L, that is recurrent non-debt expenditure, and starting with presidency carried, Ministry of Defense carried, Ministry of Foreign Affairs carried, Federal Ministry of Information carried, Ministry of Art and Culture carried, Federal Ministry of Tourism carried, Ministry of Interior carried, Office of the Head of Civil Service carried, Auditor General of the Federation carried, Ministry of Police Affairs carried, Federal Ministry of Communication carried, National Security Advisors Office carried, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission carried, Secretary to the Government of the Federation carried, Federal Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs carried, Federal Ministry of Livestock carried, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security carried, Federal Ministry of Finance carried, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, carried. Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, carried. Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, carried. Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, carried. Federal Ministry of Transportation, carried. Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, carried. Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace, carried. Federal Ministry of Power, carried. Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources, carried. Federal Ministry of Steel Development, carried. Federal Ministry of Solid Minerals, carried. Federal Ministry of Works, carried. Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, carried. National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, carried. Fiscal Responsibility Commission, carried. Federal Ministry of Water Resources, carried. Federal Ministry of Justice, carried. Independent Corrupt Practices and Related Offenses, carried. Federal Capital Territory Administration, carried. Federal Ministry of Niger Delta Development, carried. Federal Ministry of Youth, carried. National Sports Commission, carried. Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, carried. Federal Ministry of Education, carried. Federal Ministry of Health, carried. Federal Ministry of Environment, carried. National Population Commission, carried. Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, carried. Subtotal Executive, carried. Federal Executive Bodies, Code of Conduct Bureau, carried. Code of Conduct Tribunal, carried. Federal Character Commission, carried. Federal Civil Service Commission, carried. Police Service Commission, carried.
Point of
Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, carried.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Federal Executive Bodies, carried.
Point of order, sir.
Overruled. Yes. Continue, Speaker. What's your point of order?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, the Right Honourable Speaker. I think in the area of carrying, we have made a mistake. There is no longer the Ministry of Niger Delta Development, and we have already carried that in error. We have already carried that in error, sir.
Bichi,
we no longer have Ministry of Niger Delta Development.
Page 479.
We have Ministry of Regional Development.
You reflected Federal Ministry of Niger Delta instead of Federal Ministry of Regional Development. We need to amend that. The ministry, we use the old name of the ministry instead of the new one. So please, Secretariat, can you please take note of that and correct accordingly? Thank you. Okay. Pension, gratuities, and benefit total allocation carried. Office of the Head of Civil Service carried. Gratuities carried. Pensions carried. Pension running costs carried. Pension increment arrears 2024 carried. Military pensions. Unfunded liabilities carried. Military pensions and gratuities. Pensions and gratuities carried. Expected retirees carried. Death benefits carried. Administrative charges carried. Pension running costs carried. Medical retirees carried. Arrears of gratuities January 2019 to December 2021 carried. Arrears of pension January 2019 to December 2021 carried. Arrears of death benefits January 2019 to December 2021 carried. Now we come to NHIS military retirees. Military retirees including arrears carried. DIA civilian staff pension and gratuities. Pension carried. Gratuity carried. Administrative charges carried. We come to Department of State Security. Pensions carried. Pension running costs carried. Verification exercise carried. We come to NIA. Pensions dependent benefits carried. Pension running costs carried. Gratuity long service severance package carried. Pension transitional arrangement directorate. Pension gratuity, pension carried. Pension running costs carried. We come to Customs, Immigrations and Prisons Pensions Office. Pensions carried. Pension running costs carried. Gratuities and death benefits carried. Pensions for retired CGs and TCGs carried. Now we come to universities pension, including arrears. Pensions carried. Parastatals pension and railway pensions, beginning with pensions carried. Pension running costs carried. Unfunded liabilities carried. We come to NELCOM. NELCOM pension and stroke arrears carried. National Pension Commission, PENCON, carried. Payment of gratuity to civil servants, carried. Payment into redemption fund, carried. Pension protection fund, carried. Pension increase due to 2024 consequential adjustment, carried. 2.5% shortfall for employer pension contribution for omitted tertiary institutions, carried. Benefits of retired professors, including shortfalls, carried. Severance benefits to retired heads of government agencies and parastatals, carried. Entitlements of former presidents, heads of states and vice presidents, carried. Outstanding powers plus administration, carried. Insurance of FGN sensitive assets, carried. Payment for promotion and salary arrears, carried. Arrears due to minimum wage related adjustment, carried. Military operations, carried. Settlement of MDS electricity bill debt, carried. IPPS capturing and monitoring, carried. Margin for increases in cost and recurrent adjustment costs, carried. Presidential amnesty program, reintegration of transformed ex-militants, carried. Service-wide training of budget planning officers on give mixed budget preparation system, BPS, as well as monitoring and evaluation of all projects nationwide, carried. National Social Investment Program Agency recurrent, carried. Contingency recurrent, carried. International sporting competitions, carried. TSA operation, carried. Contribution to international organizations, carried. Gavi immunization, carried. Malaria vaccination of infants, carried. Human capital development, carried. Program secretariat, carried. Presidential Women's Health Transformation Initiative, carried. Police Operation Fund, carried. North National Security and Civil Defense Corps Special Operations Fund, carried. DSS Special Operation Fund, carried. National Poverty Reduction with Growth Strategy, carried. Provision for Corps members, NHIS, carried. Office of the Special Advisor on Special Coordination, carried. National Homegrown School Feeding Program, carried. New MDS takeoff grants, recurrent, 15 number, most in health and education sector, carried. Presidential Revenue Monitoring and Reconciliation Committee, carried. Electoral adjudication and post-election provision, carried. We go through Part M. Total recurrent non-debt, carried. Total CRF charges, carried. Now we go to Part M, capital expenditure. Presidency, carried. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, carried. Information, carried. Art and Culture, carried. Tourism, carried. Interior, carried. Civil Service, carried. Ministry of Police Affairs, carried. Communication, carried. NSA, carried. Infrastructure, carried. SGF, carried. Federal Ministry of Special Duties, carried. Ministry of Livestock carried. Ministry of Agriculture carried. Finance carried. Budget carried. Industry Trade carried. Labor and Employment carried. Innovation, Science and Technology carried. Transportation and Blue Economy carried. Aviation and Aerospace carried. Power carried. Petroleum Resources carried. Steel Development carried. Solid Minerals carried. Works carried. Housing and Urban Development carried. Salaries and Incomes and Wages Commission carried. Federal Ministry of Niger Delta Development. Please let's take note of it. It's supposed to be Federal Ministry of Regional Development. Carried. Federal Ministry of Youth carried. National Sports Commission Headquarters carried. Women Affairs carried. Education carried. Health and Social Welfare carried. Environment carried. National Population Commission carried. Humanitarian Affairs carried. Subtotal Executive carried. Federal Executive Bodies, starting with Code of Conduct carried. Code of Conduct Tribunal carried. Federal Character Commission carried. Federal Service Commission carried. Public Service Commission carried. Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission carried. Subtotal for federal executive bodies carried. Government-owned enterprises capital carried. The schedules are also supposed to be called. Let's all the schedules beginning with 230 to 231, 232, 233, 235 carried. 236 to 240 carried. 241 to 245 carried. 246 to 250 carried. 251 to 255 carried. 256 to 230 to 260 carried. 275 carried. 276 to 283 carried. 284 to 291 carried. Total cash supplementation carried. Total capital expenditure carried. Aggregate expenditure carried. Thank you. Issues and appropriation of 68 trillion, 303 billion, 309 million, 18,667 from the Consolidated Revenue Fund for 2026. The Accountant General of the Federation shall, when authorized to do so by warrant, signed by the Minister charged with responsibility for finance, pay out 2026 the sum specified by the warrants, not exceeding in the aggregate the sum of 68 trillion, 303 billion, 309 million, 818,607 naira only for the year ending on the 31st day of December 2026. Carried. First schedule, the amount mentioned in subsection 1 of this section shall be appropriated to heads of expenditure as indicated in the schedule of this bill. Carried. No part of the amount aforesaid shall be released from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation after the end of the year mentioned in subsection 1 of this section. Carried. 2. Release of funds from the Consolidated Revenue Funds. All amounts appropriated under this bill shall be released from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation only for the purpose specified in this schedule intended to be undertaken under this bill cannot be completed without violence. Such violence shall not be effected with the prior approval, shall only be affected with the prior approval of the National Assembly. Carried. Corrigendum. any error in the schedule to this bill that may hinder the implementation of projects and programs in ministries, departments, and agencies may be corrected through a corrigendum issued to agencies. Carried. Excess revenue. The Accountant General of the Federation shall immediately, upon the coming into force of this bill, maintain a separate record for the documentation of revenue accruing to the Consolidated Revenue Fund in excess of oil price benchmark adopted in this budget. Carried. Such revenues as specified in subsection 1 of this section refers to revenues accruing from sales of the approved benchmark, price per barrel, the petroleum profit tax, a royalty on oil and gas. Carried. Authorization. No funds shall be paid out of the monies arising from the record specified in section 5, subsection 1, except by an act stroke approval of the National Assembly. Carried. The Accountant General of the Federation shall forward to the National Assembly full details of funds released to the government agencies immediately such funds are released. Carried. Information on fund releases. The Minister of Finance shall ensure that funds appropriated under this act are released to the appropriate agencies and or organs of government as and when due, provided that no funds for any quarter of the fiscal year shall be deferred without prior waiver from the National Assembly. Carried. Due process certification. The Department of Government charged with the responsibility of certifying that due processes have been complied with in the processing of implementation of projects shall ensure that all processes of approvals are completed within the specified period as provided for in the Public Procurement Act. Carried. Information on internally generated revenue, domestic and foreign assistance. All accounting officers of ministries, parastatals, and departments of government who control heads of expenditures shall, upon the coming into effect of this bill, furnish the National Assembly on quarterly basis with detail of A, internally generated revenue of the agency in any form. Carried. And B, all foreign and domestic assistance received from any agency, person, or organization in any form. Carried. Power of Nigerian missions, embassies and missions. The missions and embassies shall constitute their tender board as in parastatals tenders board, PTB, within the requisite threshold in compliance with the extant executive circular and the provisions of the Public Procurement Act. Carried. The true part of it is the detailed estimates of expenditures are set out in the second schedule to this bill. Carried. Detailed estimates. The detailed estimates of expenditures are set out in the second schedule to this estimate. Carried. Esperi. Please delete again another correction. No constitution at 99 is typographical. So the only thing that should remain is just Esperi. Expiry date. So delete Constitution stroke 99, 1999. In line with the provisions of Section 318 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this bill expires after 12 months, starting from 1st January of 1st January through 31st day of December 2026, when assented to. Carried. Short title. This bill may be cited as the Appropriation Bill 2026. Carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you all.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, observation.
What's the observation?
Number 10B and 11, the detailed estimates. I think they are the same.
What?
There's a repetition there. 10-2. The detailed estimates of expenditure are set out in the second schedule to this bill, and it was repeated on number 11 again. Number 10, 2, and 11, they are the same. That's just the observation. They can remove one of them.
Number 10 and 11? No, this one, number 10, 2, is referring to missions, embassies and missions only. You understand? It has no relationship with the other one is for others. Okay? Okay. Thank you. Leader of the House, please can you move for the House to revert back to plenary? Thank you very much. Honorable House, are we also carrying the minority leader?
You, Mr.
Carried? So, thank you. God bless you.
After that marathon consideration of the 2026 budget, I rise to move that the House do revert to plenary and for a report to the plenary. I so move.
Leader of the minority, please can you second?
Your Excellency, you can't carry the ground.
He has been carried already, so carry this one again. We have moved for the House to revert back to plenary.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that we revert back to plenary to consider report from Committee of Supply. I so second.
In support of this motion, should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Our House has reverted back to plenary. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, executive session after the plenary. Executive session after the plenary. Very important executive session. Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chinedu, approach Mr. Speaker.
For an act to amend the Appropriation Act, repeal an enactment to extend the implementation of the capital aspects of the Appropriation Act 2025 from 31st March 2026 to 30 June 2026 and for related matters. In so doing, we have approved clauses 1 to 3, the explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on Appropriation on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 68 trillion 303 billion 309 million 818,667 naira only, of which 4 trillion 799 billion 628 million 911,806 naira only is for statutory transfers. 15 trillion 809 billion 361 million 631,657 naira only is for debt service. 15 trillion 427 billion 257 million 802,407 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 32 trillion 267 billion 61 million 472,797 naira only is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026, and in so doing, approved clauses 1 to 13, the schedules and the long titles of the bill. And debt management, standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba. Honorable Nalaraba is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. Mr. Speaker, Committee on Aid, Loans and Debt Management report presentation as follows. That the House do receive the report of the Committee on Aid, Loans and Debt Management on the request for the approval to establish a standard trust return swap external financing program of $5 billion with the first Abu Dhabi bank to support.
Any seconder, is the deputy chairman of the committee around?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Architect Lanre Okola. I represent Surulere 2 Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I hereby support the reports ably laid by my chairman. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Nalaraba, please.
UK Export Finance. Covered loan facility arranged by Citibank and for the rehabilitation of port project, Lagos Port Complex and Tinkan Island Port Complex. I so present, Mr. Speaker.
My able chairman, I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those are two reports of the Committee on Aid, Loans and Debt Management. Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba will move for their consideration.
Total return swap external financing program of $5 billion with the first Abu Dhabi bank to support the federal nations therein. Mr. Speaker, I will continue with the 945,600
55 cents. UK Export Finance, UKEF, covered loan facility arrangement by Citibank for the rehabilitation of Ports Project Lagos Port Complex and Tinkan Island Port Complex, Nigeria, and approved recommendations therein. I so present, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
The Deputy Chair, please can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Honorable Larry Okola. I represent Surulere 2 Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I hereby second the motion ably moved by my chairman. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise to move that the House do reserve to Committee on Supplies in order to consider the 2 reports ably presented by the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management. I so move.
The Leader of the Minority.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that we resolve into Committee of Supply. So second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House has resolved to Committee of Supply to consider these 2 bills. Honorable colleagues, the first report to be considered is from the Committee on AIDS and Loans and Debt Management on the request for approval to establish a structured total. Chair rules. Have you made copies for members? Okay. So as I was saying earlier, the first report to be considered is from the Committee on AIDS and Loans and Debt Management on the request for approval to establish a structured total return swap external financing program amounting to $5 billion with First Abu Dhabi Bank to support federal government funding and fiscal liquidity management. On this regard, I would like to invite Honorable Abubakar Hassan Laraba to give us a brief synopsis of this report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Hassan Laraba, OON, Sedokin Lafia. I represent the good people of Awedo Makana Federal Constituency from Nasarawa State. Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, the aim of acquiring this facility is to rehabilitate and modernize, restore and upgrade Nigerians' most vital ports, which is the Apapa and Tinkan port, which have been reached critical engineering failure stages along the period of time. The rehabilitation and reconstruction of these ports will improve the port's functionality and operational efficiency to meet the growing trade demand, enhance safety, and approve the report of the Citibank loan in the United Kingdom. The second report, Mr. Speaker, the Abu Dhabi Bank loan facility, liquidity management. This facility is covered by the rules and regulations of external swap derivatives. This facility is classified as a credit derivative and serves as a form of synthetic for the interests of the nation and Nigerians as a whole. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, my dear colleagues.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable colleagues, I think with this brief explanation and clarification, we can go ahead into the main consideration. The first consideration is one, that the implementation of a total return, that the House do consider, that the implementation of a total return swap transaction involving the federal government of Nigeria and First Abu Dhabi Bank in aggregate principal amount of up to 5 billion USD, together with the collateralization of the transaction by the issuance of Naira of up to. The second is that the federal government of Nigeria makes margining payments to First Abu Dhabi Bank in USD cash upon demand, if at any time, either due to fluctuations in the market prices of the federal government securities or as a result of movement in exchange rate, or both, the value of the collateral issued to FAB falls below the initial value at the time of interstate dollars should be, and other ancillary agreements as may be required between the federal government of Nigeria and First Abu Dhabi Bank, PJSC. Carried. The last but not the least, authorization of the use of proceeds for budget implementation, development of key infrastructure projects which are of priority to the administration, repayment of relatively more expensive domestic and external debts in the federal government Nigerian public debt portfolio. Carried. We go to the second request. Honorable Nalaraba, would you want to give a synopsis of the second request from the federal government?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Though I have done the both synopsis, but let me quickly go through it again, recap. Mr. Speaker, my honorable, highly respected colleagues, the aim of acquiring this facility with the city port, Nigeria's most vital port, which is the Apapa. Construction of this port will improve the port's functionality and operational efficiency to meet growing trade demands, enhance safety and standards, and align with port facility with global best practices. I seek the cooperation of the House to consider and approve this report for the interests of Nigerians and the nation in general. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, my highly respected colleagues.
Number one is the request for approval of $1,945,693.55 UK Export Finance covered loan facility arranged by Citibank for the rehabilitation of ports projects, Lagos Complex, Lagos Port Complex, and Tinkan Island Port Complex, Nigeria. Carried. Thank you very much. I think we have come to the end of these considerations. The Leader of the House, can you move for us to revert back to plenary?
With our pleasure. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do resort to plenary for a report be made to the House. I so move.
The Leader of the Minority, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion that we revert back to plenary. And we want to add that we have an executive session thereafter, sir. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House has referred back to plenary. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues,
Okay. I will correct it in the chairman's report.
honorable colleagues, the House in Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on the request for approval to establish a structured total return swap external financing program of $5 billion with First Abu Dhabi Bank to support federal government funding and fiscal liquidity management, and in so doing, approve recommendations 1 to 4 of the report. Honorable colleagues, the House in Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on the request for approval of $1,945,693.55 UK Export Finance Covered Loan Facility arranged by Citibank for the rehabilitation of Tinkan Island, Lagos, Lagos Apapa Port and Tinkan Island Complex, and approve, in so doing, approve the only recommendation of the report. The Leader of the House, can you please kindly move for the House to adopt the 4 reports? I think it's 4, right? 3 or 4? 3. Okay, the 3 reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. How many?
4.
4?
Yeah.
All right. I rise to move that the House do adopt the 4 reports presented from the committees of supply as working documents in this House. I so move.
The Leader of the Minority.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I second the motion that we do adopt all the reports. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk. Kasanzani. Leader of the House, please can you rise and move for suspension of our extant rules to do a 3rd reading of all the 4 bills.
Move that we suspend relevant. I so move.
The Leader of the Minority.
My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I second the motion that we do suspend relevant sections of our rules to take the third reading of the bills today. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, please.
15 trillion 809 billion 361 million 631,657 naira only is for debt service. 15 trillion 427 billion 257 million 802,407 naira only is for the current non-debt expenditure. 22,797 naira only is for contribution to the development fund for capital expenditure for the year ending 31st December 2026, third reading.
All these bills, 304 in number, are read the third time and passed. Yeah, they said, yeah, it is okay. That it is not.
Right from the Speaker, honourable members, a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act, repeal and enactment to extend the implementation of the capital aspect of the Appropriations Act 2025 from
The first is coming from Honorable Comrade Bashiru Usman Gorau, member representing Goranyo, Gada Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. And his message today is you stand up and stand tall and erect like a soldier. Because you are going to disappoint our minority leader. I think your whole intent and motive is to all run and leave him alone in PDP, which is no good. And the entire house of my defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the African Democratic Congress, ADC. This decision, born out of deep personal conviction and a fundamental divergence in principles, ideology, and internal governance between my former party, PDP, my own political beliefs, and the yearnings and aspirations of my constituency. In recent times, it has become evident that the PDP has drifted from its founding ideals and no longer provides a platform for an inclusive and people-centered representation that resonates with what I promised my constituents due to persistent divisions. These are in consultation with leaders, stakeholders, and good people of Goronyo Federal Constituency, decide to join the African Democratic Congress, ADC, a party whose values of grassroots empowerment, rule of law, institutional integrity, and national renewal. Honorable Comrade Bashir Usman Gorau. My brother, I wish you all the best. I won't say good luck. I will say I wish you all the best. All the best, and we'll be looking forward to seeing your contribution under this new platform. All the best. We have another letter
Yes. At the same moment, not this one, send the other document, send. Say, okay, look at your this thing. At the end, nothing happened.
Adege Olawande, Chairman Parliamentary Friendship Group to Malaysia, a member representing letter of resignation by his own resignation from Labour Party. The content of the letter reads decision to join the African Democratic Congress. Due to prolonged internal crisis, leadership division had reached the difficult Honorable George Olawande. Honorable George, wish you all the best. Good luck in your new party. The last but not the least is a letter from Honorable Sani Akubu Noma, member representing Argungu. This is what he has for you. He said, I write to formally notify this honorable house of my resignation from the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision was reached after wide consultations with my constituents, political associates, and key stakeholders for the platform it provided me to serve and represent my people in this honorable house. I remain appreciative of the support, cooperation, and political opportunities the party afforded me over the years. However, developments within the party have created deep divisions and uncertainties that have made it increasingly difficult to effectively pursue the collective aspiration of my constituents under its platform. Thus, in the overriding interest of my constituents and in order to better position our constituency for development and effective representation, I have resolved to join the African Democratic Congress, ADC. This decision is guided by my commitment to support the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose leadership continues to chart a path towards national economic recovery. Menoma, Honorable Menoma, your letter is contradictory. Yeah, so I don't know whether he made a mistake of ADC because he's saying that his decision is guided by the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. So I don't know whether I'm reading the wrong party. Is he around?
So it's ADC. The party he mentioned is ADC.
But still appreciating Mr. President, so he's not going to have any presidential candidate.
No problem.
You're sure?
ADC.
He said this decision is guided by my commitment to support the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whose leadership continues to chart a path towards national economic recovery, institutional reform, and sustainable development. Equally, I think it's APC he is trying to say.
Don't think, sir. Don't think.
Don't think. I will suspend the reading of this until I meet the man. This letter is stepped down by the leave of the House. Again, a reminder with respect of the earlier announcement made concerning a joint valedictory session in honor of late Senator Barry Mpigi on 9th April to adopt the votes and proceedings of today's proceedings.
Thank you very much, our amiable Speaker. I rise to move that we adopt the votes and proceedings of today's session so that since we are going on a long break, there will be no sitting in another 2-3 weeks. I so move.
The minority leader, please, can you second?
My dear colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that we adopt our proceedings of today as a working instrument of the Parliament. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Leader, can you move for the House to adjourn plenary to 21st of July, 21st of convention, coming our opposition partners. So we able our ADC members.
And as you can see, we are ready for more work. So I don't know why we are going on break. But since there's no work left to be done for today, it is with pleasure I move that we adjourn plenary to the 21st of April, 2026 at 11 a.m.
Speaker, my dear colleagues, I second the motion. As so moved by the House Leader, I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. House has adjourned plenary until 21st of April 2026. Thank you very much.